how's Dan's armature getting on? Very excited to see the progress. I'm just working on Dan's head. Boom. Actually, that's a complete lie. I've not even started on his head. Better get going right now. Don't you just love it when you get a package from Amazon and you don't even remember ordering it? This is exactly what's happened today. So I thought, why not? Why not open it on here? I love getting new things, it's great. Oh, I remember what it is. Missing Link. This is The Art of Missing Link, Leica's latest film. Have you seen it? If you have, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Now, I have got so many of these books now. It's absolutely insane. I'm thinking I probably should do a video on its own just about the books that I actually own, because there are quite a lot of them now and it's probably worth having a little video on them. I absolutely love reading about these books. These guys are awesome and yeah, new book material to read. Great. Anyway, my name's Pete Ellis. This is my animated life. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, press the notification icon and let everybody else know about this channel. And before we get any further, we have reached, yes I know, we have reached 1 million views on Dan of the Dead. That is 1 million different people have watched Dan of the Dead, which is absolutely incredible. In fact, it's almost at 1.1 million. Not that we're getting into anything like that, but I am absolutely blown away by this. And as I have said already, I am going to do a giveaway when I reached 1 million, and we have reached 1 million. So on the next video that comes out, I will be announcing a lucky person who is going to win a shirt very similar to this one for Dan of the Dead. Now, you can still be in with a chance to win this shirt or a shirt similar to this if you go to myanimatedlife.co.uk, subscribe to the website, and then you'll be in for a chance to win a shirt and the competition. 1 million views, Dan of the Dead. How incredible is that? Now let's get into this video. I just did a really quick whip through of everything that I was doing, but I am actually going to break it down a little bit easier than that. So we have the original Dan head here, which I made 6 years ago now. He was in the original film. I've chopped his hair off. That's so I can make new hair, better hair, maybe with wire in it, so we can have silicone going on. You can move about, we can change him out as he gets rougher through the series. But what's also needed is this head here was made out of Fimo. I want to be able to mass produce more than one head of Dan, and that means making a cast of this very Z head. And that is what I'm going to do in this video. Along with that video, I'm going to show you a new way in which I'm going to put the eyes on. As you can see here on Dan, his eyes were pushed in to the Fimo, and they ended up having to be like blue tacked in, and I was moving it around and it kept falling out and it wasn't very good. So I've got a better solution for the new and improved Dan, which is going to speed up animation time, etc, etc. I'm going to go through it all. I think this is worthy of, oh, you know, I've not done this for a while, I've only done one of them, but yeah, I'm going to do it. This is going to be a stop motion 5-minute challenge. Let's get 5 minutes on the clock right now. Let's get started. Moulding Dan's head in silicone to make a resin mould. Ooh! This is the original Dan's head. It's fair to say it's completely unusable now. I'm going to continue taking the rest of this hair off, and then I'm going to be able to repatch up all of this, mould it, and then pop out a load of different heads so I can try different hairstyles and see which one I like. Okay, head is now ready to be made into a 2-part mould, and I've just laid up the first part right now, and I'm just going to get myself some Vaseline, and I'm going to coat the whole of this model in Vaseline, and this is purely so that we can make sure that once the silicone is poured in and is set, we can get it out of the mould nice and easy, because otherwise it can be an absolute pain. So we're just painting silicone all around the mould and on the face itself. This is Mould Star silicone, and I got this from Smooth On. It's a platinum silicone and it is 31T. Now that's a sureness, that's how strong it will be once it's set and how quick it sets and blah 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 and all this lot. I believe that I have about 6 minutes to work with this, and then it actually completely sets within about 30 minutes. Could be talking rubbish. I'll have a check out, I'll come back to you. Part A. Part B. Bosh. What's good about this silicone is you mix it in equal parts. It's 1 part A, 1 part B. So you don't necessarily have to measure it. Just do it by volume, and that is exactly what I'm going to do right now. Just giving part A a stir. We need to mix well before we even mix it together. So I'm just giving it a good old stir, ready to go. One thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my Sharpie and I'm going to write A on the stick, so that I know that I always use this stick for part A, because we don't want to cross-contaminate, otherwise they will start setting, causes all sorts of issues. It's just a good general practice to have. Alright, on this one first. Part B. Give that a good old mix as well. We don't know how long this will have been sat on a shelf before it's come to us, so it's always worth just giving it a good old mix and getting it ready to be poured for the first time. So that is another reason for why we do it. Okay, we're going to start by pouring part A into our cup. Now then, I do believe I have 2 parts, A and B, exactly the same by volume. I'm going to mix these two together and pour the entire contents, once mixed, into the mould itself. That will be the first half of the mould done. I believe I have a pot life of 5 minutes to actually mix that together, and then I have 25 minutes to cure before I can pop it out and do the same process on the other side. So let's get mixing. Really get that mixed in. Got to make sure that we're really mixed in. I've only got 5 minutes to work with this. Here it goes. Always important to scrape the last bits out, because that really can give you that extra layer that you might need in your mould. Where the nose is just poking out, you might think you've not quite got enough. Well, you have. You just need to scrape it all out of your contents that you've been mixing from. You'll be amazed at how much more silicone is actually in there. You've just got to get it out. Okay, we'll let it set for around 25-30 minutes. It's my first time using this Moldstar 31T silicone, and what I have noticed is it's quite rigid. It really has got quite a strong shore on it. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's set perfectly well, so I'm going to crack this open and get ready to pour in the second part of the mould. Keep watching. I'm going to clean up the head. I don't know why I'm this low, it's because I've not got the tracking on, because if I have the tracking on it just stares at my face, and you don't want to just see my face, you want to be able to see the mould. And now I seem to be talking whilst leaning down on this mat, which is a bit strange. I'm going to clean up the head before I plonk him back into the mould to do the second half of the mould. Then I'll come back, but it's worked very well, and it is rigid. Maybe the shore is a bit more than I was expecting, but as long as it does the job, I don't mind. Here goes. Ta-da! What's good about using silicone molds like these is that it's literally taken me an hour and a half to do this mould. It's ready to have resin poured into it. It's fast, it's quick, it's effective. I now have a 2-part mould of Dan's head without the hair on it, so I can try out a few things now by pouring some resin in and getting the hair absolutely spot on. Let's get pouring some resin into here. Here we have Dan's resin head made out of Fast resin from the silicone mould, all done within 2 hours. It's just absolutely great stuff. If you want all of these products and you want to know where you can get them from, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can buy it all from. This head, if you saw me swirling it around a bit, that's because I've put half of the amount of resin in that you would normally put in for a full head, and this is so I can make it lighter, but also cut the inside of the head and push his eyes in from behind in the eye sockets. So I'll make the eyes slightly bigger so that they stay inside the head. It's hard for me to explain, but it will make sense. It means that the eyes will stay within the head and not fall out all the time, which is what was happening with the original Dan. Again, I'm just slightly upgrading him, making him better. This means I can do a lot of different things with him. Very excited to show you the next stage. Eventually I'll get myself some plastic eyes for Dan, but at the moment I've just used some milliput ones and I've dremeled into them to make a chasm for the pupil itself, and then holes a bit further in so that I can use a cocktail stick to move the eyes around. This is something that's new. On the original Dan, which you can see here, the eyes were just pushed in with blue tack. So rather than doing that, because I've hollowed out the new Dan head, I'm able to have a hollow head, which means I can now put eyes inside and actually keep them in place via silicone, and then we have eye sockets, which will make everything so much easier for me to move his eyes around. I'll explain. Eyes in the socket. So obviously I need to put the silicone behind it now. Now if I'd put silicone, it gives it movement but stops it from falling out. I'm going to put some silicone inside and then push against the eyes to keep them in the sockets, potentially glue around the head, but that's how I'm going to do it. Got some of this 2-part silicone. You might have seen me use this before. Mix it in equal parts, and once it's been mixed, after about 5 minutes it starts to set, turns itself into silicone. Really good stuff. This is all I need to use. Mix a good substantial amount together, manipulate it in my hand, and then I'm going to push it into the back of the eyes, which will hopefully keep it in place on Dan's head. I'll show you. Equal parts, mix it, and go to a lighter blue, and all we're going to do is push it into the back of the eyes. Here we are, the eyes are now in place, and if I am to put a little pick in there, I can move the eye over that way, up this way, down this way. It's really quite simple to move the eye around. It's very clever. I am quite happy with how that's turned out. It's going to be so much easier than trying to just keep pressing the eyeballs in with plasticine, which is what was happening when I did the last Dan. So this one is going to be so much easier. Do you not think? I think I'm going to leave it here for now. This is the testing that I've done up to now, so you can see the progress from the original Dan head. We now have a plastic version of Dan's head, hollowed out with eyes inserted from the inside so that I've got sockets available to move the eyes better. I'm now ready to maybe pour silicone into here to block off all of the area so it's fixed in place, and then I can start rebuilding the top of the head and get ready to sculpt hair, which will get fitted on separately in silicone with wire, which will be really good. And obviously in the meantime I'm going to spray this up in a white primer and then start colouring it to the same colour as the original Dan head. Things are progressing, slowly but progressing. I'll love to see you in the next one. Keep watching, subscribe, hit the notification icon so you don't miss any more of these videos. There's going to be another video on the Dan's head very soon. I'll see you. Wow. Hot.